But how do you get into conversation? How do you convert people from watching your stuff to talking to you? But even there are people that are doing it that seem simple and easy. Like they've gotten the reps and they've done a bunch of them. So even the people that have really simple edits, like they're really good at talking on camera. My prediction for stealing the show is going to be
What's up, my friends? Back with another episode of the Real Estate Video Blueprint Podcast. Katie Day here with Timothy Macy, and we are calling it hot.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
Almost, not quite.
We're ready for REVB.
Almost, not quite.
It's finally here.
I'm excited. This is my excited voice.
I can tell. I can tell. So, Katie, we are going to get into a lot of things. And before we dive into like topics and all that fun stuff that we're going to talk about at REVB, I want to hear from you. What speaker you are most excited to hear from? And then number two is, who do you think is going to steal the show? Because every year someone steals the show, and I want to know who you think that is.
It's really funny that you asked that, because someone asked me that yesterday, and I was like, there's always someone that steals the show. And it's like, it's something that, like, I mean, we didn't know that, like, I think 2 years ago it was Tyler Hassman, right? Yeah. And so I hate to say that I think someone's going to, and then it be a letdown, right? Because it's normally like not low expectation or no expectation, but just like, oh, like we think that everyone's great, and then someone is really good. Really great.
Yeah, I love betting on things and putting pressure on people, though. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. That's what the people want. Give them what they want.
Give the people what they want. The problem is I think that listen, I love all my children equally.
If you're gonna be like that, then I'll go. Speaker that I'm gonna be like in the room, paying attention.
I hope you're in the room the entire time paying attention.
I know I have to be there the whole time. I'm not allowed to go get tacos.
Tacos.
Like, I'm excited to hear from Neil Dinger again. Well, yeah, I first heard him speak at Rise, and I was like, oh man, I really like this guy. So I'm excited to hear from him again.
The evolution too, right? Like, because you heard from him 6 months ago, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And so hearing from him now, like, social's continuing to change, the world is continuing to change, and he's just still putting out a shit ton of content. But like, I don't think that he is like an underdog. Like, I think that he's like
he's my one that I'm gonna be. That's who I'm excited to hear from. He's not my steal the show.
Yeah. He has a show.
He's supposed to be the show. Yes. My prediction for stealing the show is gonna be Roland and Matt. I think they've got something special on stage together, and I think they're gonna steal the show. They are gonna go early though. They're early day one, and so I will say that's been a disadvantage, because most of the people that steal the show are usually on day two. Historically, but we'll see what happens.
Historically, but I think for them, they are. I'm concerned that they're gonna spend their 5 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour just arguing with each other, and I'm like, I hope that they actually give tactics too. Right?
Oh my goodness! Yeah, but the arguing, like they're so playful, right? They're
cute together. They're cute together.
Yeah, they're cute together.
Yeah.
All right, so who do you got to steal the show?
I hate to put pressure. She's probably not even listening. Shane Bergman. No, I'm kidding. I think Alyssa. I think Alyssa Kernet's gonna steal the show.
Oh,
and
dude,
I know I think Alyssa's gonna steal the show, and two, I don't think Shane Bergman's listening to the podcast.
Yeah,
Shane doesn't listen to the podcast because he does his ice baths, and like during his ice baths, he's only talking. So he's creating his own podcast. He's not taking in information. He's only putting out information.
One, I love the Alyssa prediction, and two, a great Shane shade. That was like some solid Shane shade right there. That was really good. No, Alyssa's awesome. I know she's been putting a lot of effort into making sure she brings something good. So yeah, definitely another candidate for show stealer.
The thing that I really love about her content, and really a lot of the content of the people that we are both highlighting and that'll be joining us in San Antonio, is that like what they are doing is something that you can do too. And so I think that like a lot of what, like, even what Neil teaches is he's like, use your freaking phone. Like, he has a production company, he has videographers. I'm always so impressed at how quickly he and his team put out content from his events and content days and everything like that. But like, he also, a lot of his stuff is in his stories, him just taking his phone, putting his arm out and talking directly to the camera. So I think that we always try really hard to have like super tactical information, but it's like everyone that's on the lineup all does their thing well, and like you could also you too can do this.
Well, people should know that is the lens that we look at this stuff through. So there, people send me stuff all the time. Check out so and so; they're crushing it on social, and they may be like there are a lot of different ways to crush it on social to build a real estate business. But when Katie and I look at stuff, we look at it. It's like, okay, is this person crushing it on social because of the fact that they have some unique thing about them that helps them do what they do? Or is what they're doing on social replicatable for a large percentage of real estate agents? And so sometimes there are people that are crushing it that we don't really talk about. And the reason we don't talk about it is because it doesn't seem easily replicatable by a lot more people. And so when we bring you stuff at REVB, just know we've filtered through a lot of different ideas, a lot of different concepts, a lot of different strategies to bring you the ones that seem the most actionable, that seem the ones that the most amount of people can execute, and the ones that drive the most business. Because that's what we are always diving into is, okay, you did this thing, it got a bajillion views. How are you using it to drive business? And Katie, I will say some of REVB is going to be spent on those conversion mechanisms. And that's what I get excited about too, because that's the piece of the puzzle that I've seen really bring people's businesses together when it comes to so much of the stuff we've been talking about for the last couple of years is, do they have an effective conversion mechanism? And we're going to spend some time talking about those.
What's a conversion mechanism?
How do you get from views, right? How do you get people from viewing your stuff?
I'm kidding. I knew what it was.
To maybe commenting on it, maybe even got a bunch of shares, because shareability is our ultimate goal. But how do you get into conversation? How do you convert people from watching your stuff to talking to you? And for a lot of people, they're constantly trying to talk to people and they can't figure out how to make content that reaches a wide audience. And then on the other side, you got people that have content that reaches a wide audience, but they can't figure out how to get people to talk to them. And so we are going to spend a little bit of time getting into the weeds on those conversion mechanisms. And I'm excited for that.
Well, and one thing that's always interesting to me is like, I think that people really get too complicated with it. I've been talking a lot to some of our friends that are seeing a lot of views on their content and seeing a lot of shares and seeing a lot of saves and getting a lot of comments and doing all the things. And they're like, I just made this one little tweak in asking for business every fifth reel and just saying, DM me if you XYZ. And they're like, and people started DMing me, right? So I think it's sometimes like, okay, I've got to have this elaborate sales funnel and I need to do this, that, and whatever. And like, I was talking to Rick Lee about it, and Rick's like, no, I just did a video on different sub markets of my market and why I think it's good or bad to buy there. And if someone else wants to buy there, and if you want to buy there, DM me. And he's like, and then people started DMing me, right? So it's like, you just have to lead them to what you want, people to do. And so I'm not giving away like your entire conversion mechanism talk, I don't think, but in its simplest form, like that is sometimes all you need to do. It's the same thing. Like if you're out touring with a buyer, right? Hey, Tim, do you want to make an offer on anything we saw today? Like, do you ever ask that? You should be, right? So I'm excited to dig into some of the nuanced stuff of what's working, right? Because sometimes it is very simple, but then there are some ways to kind of layer in the real estate stuff that we're seeing people do really well.
One of my favorite ones that I talked about this week at our training was the best tactic that nobody will do. And
what is it? Are you going to tell us? Are you saving? You have to be in San Antonio to hear.
No. I don't. We give it all away. It doesn't matter if you listen to the podcast, you can make it to the event. We're never.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were. I wasn't sure if you were gonna like, and stay tuned for.
Yeah, no tease. No tease. No, but Alyssa Kerna sent me a screenshot of one of her stories or one of her DMs, and all she did was thank the person for the follow and said she looked forward to connecting. So she just responds to every follower. Katie Day just followed you on Instagram. I message Katie and say, hey, thanks for following. Look forward to connecting. That's
interesting.
Like, imagine if you did that with every single person that followed you.
So there's two things. One, some people do this with ManyChat, and I think that there is power in actually doing it yourself.
Yes.
And I've done it on and off with like my Houston channel. It's difficult, and I don't know if anyone else sees this, and so I would love for you to DM me and tell me what you think. And please add in the context, because sometimes when I say, hey, DM me if, people like send me a message and it has no context, and it's like, you are wrong, you are right. I'm like, I don't know what that means. So what I'm seeing a lot is like when I send those, to a lot of like actual people that like, you know, have the private profile and like they are a real human, all they do is like the message. Sometimes they leave me on red, right? And so it's weird because I'm used to engaging with realtors on social. And so if Tim, I send you a message like, hey, thanks so much for following along. Like if there's ever anything we can do, like we're here to help, you know, blah blah blah, great meeting you, whatever else it may be, like you immediately respond because that's how we're trained, and you're like, it was so great to meet you as well. You wouldn't say that to me, but you would say that to someone else. It was so great to meet you as well, and looking forward to seeing you at the next event. And it's like, so it's weird sometimes to put that out into the world and not receive back messages, right? Or just receive like a little double tap like and you get a little heart on the message, because it's like most people don't do that. But once you're in the DMs, I feel like your content performs so much better with those people, right? And so it's something that even if you're not getting a response back, you should still continue to do, because I think realtors are some of the only people that always feel the need to have the last DM or the last comment or the last reply, right?
Yeah, and you know, it's funny, we were talking on today's call about business cards, and obviously me being me just roasted them and said they're worthless, and that one in every 1,000 business cards you get printed doesn't end up directly in the trash can as soon as somebody gets home. And so we talked about what we thought we should be doing, and I said, I'm like, you have to connect with them on social. And so if I meet Katie, it's like, hey, are you on Instagram or Facebook? Like, what are you on? Cool, let's connect. And beyond, like, I think that's better than handing somebody a business card. But beyond that, I can tell you what happens is like, I follow the person I met at lunch. They follow me. We never see each other's stuff. Like, they never pop up on my feed. I never pop up in their feed because I just, you know, we follow too many people. But if I took a selfie and then sent that to Katie as soon as I met her, and then had something to say, so maybe we talked about best places to get brunch. I'm like, selfie of me,
brunch.
send it. You know, let me know if that brunch place was any good. Whatever it is, to DM, to maybe get a DM back, to get a heart back, to tell Instagram, oh, hey, we should actually show these people each other's stuff.
So I've been trying to do that a little bit more, even just in text. Like, I know it should be in DM because of the algorithm and all of the things, but like if we go to dinner and we take a picture, like I went to dinner last night with a friend. I actually drove all the way to Austin to have dinner with her to drive back home.
Nice.
College roommate, like best friend in college. You know, how often is your friend 2 hours away from you? Sidebar, what's even funnier is I was like, yeah, I probably should have hit you up when I was in Boston, but I was only there for like 30 hours last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, well, like, yeah, if you were in the city. I was like, oh, yeah, we were in some like random suburb called Canton. She's like, that's the town over from me. I was like, well, I'm a piece of shit. So we had a good laugh about that.
That was a good tour.
Yeah. I was like, you know, we went to Philly, Boston, and where was the other city that we were in?
Well, I don't know what you were on, but yeah, I think you caught me halfway through because I was in Seattle over to Boston. I met you in Boston. Then we went to Philly. Then we went to DC.
The train down to DC. I was like, there was somewhere else, but I couldn't remember. And we went to DC.
And then
you
went
down to North Carolina.
Yeah, I went down to like DC to North Carolina.
Yeah, I couldn't. I tapped out. I did the 3 and then I went back home.
I did some wacky ones. I did like 7 or 8 of these things in a row, and it was I was ready for a nap. I'm ready for a nap right now.
I literally was napping before this. I actually was thinking about for REVB. I was like, I'm really glad I'm getting in early because like you know, my daughter, my son, and my dog normally all sleep through the night, but generally speaking, one of them gets up at least once.
Yeah.
Like not every day, but like some days all 3 of them.
You're gonna get a full night's sleep.
So I'm excited for Tuesday night to come in and get a full night's sleep so that like I can be a normal human, you know, because I'm not going to be taking cat naps during REVB. Yeah, I mean, maybe I will behind the stage. I don't know.
That's funny. It's I just I know those nights you're not getting good sleep. Then you get back home to your own bed and you get like a good night's sleep. You wake up feeling like $1,000. So Katie is going to be on fire from a good night's sleep. That's exciting.
That's what So the other thing I want you to DM me if you're listening to this and you've been to REVB in the past, I would like for you to DM me your favorite REVB moment, your favorite moment at the Real Estate Video Blueprint, or comment if you're watching on YouTube, like for the 4 people that watch on YouTube, comment and let us know what your favorite moment has been over the past few years. And whether it's a speaker or a moment or like Mindy making fun of me on stage, year 1, whatever it is, just drop it in there's no comments, but drop it in the comments here or the chat kind of thing. Send me a DM. Tim.
Yes.
Focus. What are the things that people need to know. We are coming to your former hood.
Oh.
And
so we're on the Riverwalk.
So we're on the Riverwalk, which is a pretty cool thing if you've never been there before. Like if you're from San Antonio, you're like, God, I try to avoid the Riverwalk with all of my might. But like it's a cool like little tourist thing. Grab a bite to eat. Just so you're aware, most of the restaurants on the Riverwalk are, kind of kitschy, like touristy.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The Riverwalk is like a really awesome thing. Like it's great. The restaurants are okay. They're not, they get a bad rap. They're not that bad. There's some good spots there. But overall, it's like the touristy spot of San Antonio. So if you are coming in a little early, or you are coming in to like get some good San Antonio food, it's probably not going to be on the Riverwalk. There's a couple places right near the Riverwalk that'll be close to the hotel that are definitely worth checking out. But everything on the Riverwalk's a little bit of a tourist trap.
And so the Riverwalk, where the hotel where we're staying is right on River Center, right? And so that's like kind of a mall-ish thing. So like if you forget, your shoes, or you need a sweatshirt or something, you can run over there and grab it. There's also
they're giving out samples at the Chinese place with the chicken teriyaki chicken. You can go get a sample.
Tim, I love you.
What is wrong? People like
samples.
I like
samples.
No,
I love that. That's like your like takeaway for people. Like, not like go grab like one of the like 100 beers at Yard House, or like go to the whatever. Like it's like samples.
Somebody
of
DM Katie if they also like teriyaki chicken samples from the mall food court. Okay, it is an American pastime to go get
Chinese food.
No, not Chinese food. Specifically, the teriyaki chicken sample in the mall food court. I
like orange chicken better than teriyaki chicken.
Whatever.
If I'm going for
whatever
like Panda Express. But anyways, so the Riverwalk is cool. Again, it's a little like touristy, but fun to grab some drinks. They have like good drink specials at the bars. They have some kind of fun stuff as well. And you've got like the Alamo and like all of that kind of in this downtown area. But then if you're not going to like take the Riverwalk all the way up, but like if you go up, then there's also like the Pearl area, which is pretty cool if you want to go like out one night or grab dinner. They have like, isn't there a food hall at Pearl? I feel like I've been to a food hall.
There's a bunch of stuff at Pearl. Yeah, there's a food hall there, and it's just a really cool spot. It's one of my favorite mixed use developments I've seen anywhere in the country. So, green area. It's an old brewery that they've totally redone into this like campus of hotels, restaurants, or a hotel, condos, apartments, restaurants, all sorts of fun stuff. Definitely worth checking out. That's probably a little bit, that's on the north side of like the downtown little corridor, and that's a cool spot.
A quick little Uber up north.
Friday night, we're having a little happy hour action at Devil's River, which is a cool little venue as well. So Devil's River Whiskey, it has their like, I don't know, downtown thing, and that should be a fun one too.
And so in the show notes for this episode, we'll drop, if you haven't booked a hotel, the room block links. And actually, never mind. They're probably going to be sold out at that point. They're closed.
No, drop the links. You never know. People are last minute.
Room
Brad's
block
listen
links.
to this and be like, oh yeah, I better check the show note links.
First of all, he wouldn't be listening. Second of all, I have sent him the GD room block link so many times to be like, book your room, your room. You're going to show up. And the reason why I say that is because you cannot just show up this week in San Antonio, because it is Fiesta. And that's like a big deal, right? So March Madness has been in San Antonio, and now Fiesta. And so Fiesta is a huge like cultural celebration, but like everyone comes to freaking downtown to do stuff. So you can't just like, you need to plan some stuff in advance. Brad McCallum, please.
For sure.
Please.
For sure. I'm waiting for you to get all these teriyaki chicken DMs, because everybody loves the sample person, and I'm not weird.
No one's going to do it because they're going to be afraid to be a little
off. People like me. They'll defend me. They'll defend my honor.
Remember that time that we did the webinar with Jason Pantana, and everyone had to put in the chat whether they like Katie or Tim better?
Yeah, and I got votes, fool. People typed Tim. I was the most surprising thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, oh,
you're like, goodness. People typed Tim. I was people.
Oh no.
Okay.
So look, I'm excited. I do think this year we're going to be talking about chapters. And the reason we're talking about that is I think every year we have these great speakers and they're doing all this great stuff. And I feel like sitting in the audience, sometimes we just feel like it's out of reach, right? We just feel like, I'm not going to be able to get there. And the reason is we're comparing our chapter 3 to their chapter 30. And so we're really going to embrace that idea of, what chapter are you at? What chapter are they at? And what are the couple things that you're going to take from their talk that you can use to help move yourself forward and not get in that, that mindset of like the stuff that you're going to post has to look as good as theirs.
And I think the other thing is right now there's a lot of people that are winning with not Brad McCallum's quality videos.
But even there are people that are doing it that seem simple and easy. Like they've gotten the reps and they've done a bunch of them. So even the people that have really simple edits, like they're really good at talking on camera, but they're only really good at talking on camera because of how much practice they put in.
It's funny you say that. So I was joking around with my team earlier. Obviously, like I've always been a proponent of them doing content, right? So like whether it's talking head style, just direct to camera, whether it's them doing stories, market updates, whatever it is, like I want them to do more video. Like we put on a freaking conference about it, right? And so I was joking around with them because they've been doing a lot of the green screen stuff, but like I send them the script, they drop it in a teleprompter, record it, and send it. And so, everyone's like, oh, that must make the content process so much better and easier on you, meaning me, because like you don't have to do everything. And I was making fun of them because like when they're reading on the teleprompter, they choose where to breathe in weird spots. So like I would be like Timothy Macy, and I would say your name and then I'd take a breath. But like sometimes it's like Timothy Macy, and I'm like, God, guys, like, so I'm like having to cut words and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's about putting in the reps, and it's funny because some of the agents on my team live in areas that are like more newsworthy than other neighborhoods. So like they've gotten a lot of scripts, and the more reps that they get in, the better they are at reading the scripts,
No
and
way.
it's wild. It's wild.
Oh my goodness. It's almost like it makes sense.
It's almost like it makes sense. Not quite, but
yeah, I love that.
But maybe.
But maybe. Katie, you and I have not shared a stage in a while.
Have we not been on stage together since REVB?
I don't know. No, I'm thinking about it.
Because did we do any events after?
I don't think we did
last year.
Yeah. So listen, if you listen to this, give us some grace because we're going to be a little rusty.
I'm like looking through my calendar now.
We've done nothing event-wise together
because neither of us spoke in you were in Canada, but neither of us spoke in Canada.
I almost died in Canada. The plague. I was so sick.
We were together a lot.
We were like recording podcasts together a lot for sure.
Yeah. I went to 1000 Watt last year, and then I went to Yeah.
And
then we were in New York together, but we weren't on stage, or I wasn't at least. They gave you stage time for some reason. And we were both in Dallas for Summit. We record podcasts, but we didn't do. Then I had a baby.
Yeah, that whole baby thing. I mean,
it really got in the way. I'm sorry.
Johnny Boy does get in the way sometimes.
He's so freaking cute, though.
He is cute, though,
dude.
Cute
that's
baby.
Oh man, this is tough. Maybe if I don't know what we're gonna do.
Maybe we should go to like a comedy club that's like amateur night or something, and you and I can go up there and do a bit on Wednesday night just to like warm up.
Well, like Wednesday during the day, maybe. I need to get a good night's sleep. Remember we talked about this?
The event's on Thursday. See, I gotta get the day straight in my head.
Yeah.
Fun times.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see everyone in San Antonio. If you were listening to this still, you've made it to the 24-ish minute mark, 23, 24 minute mark. Please screenshot or share this and tag Real Estate Video Blueprint on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or tag us because we are hyped. We are excited. We're ready to bring it. This is, a year's worth of planning and puzzle piecing things together for REVB.
And I'm excited for people to be able, because you can walk straight out of the hotel down the escalators and see if there's a sample person with the chicken. So it's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. All right, just having trouble there? Technical difficulties?
No. Just checking. San Antonio shops at River Center, bro.
I don't know where you're going, bro.
Bro, they don't even have a freaking Panda Express.
No.
They don't even
Well,
have
no, they
one.
don't have a Panda Express, but they have something.
No,
I don't
dude,
believe you.
no.
I don't know what happened to my I
Is
used
it
to have
supposed to be? Is it supposed to be crickets?
No, I used to have a womp womp womp, but I
Yeah,
just had
your
this record
shit's
scratch.
all messed up.
I got this record scratch. I got the chimes, and I've got the rim shot.
I
I can't wait to see everybody. It's going to be a good time. If you're still listening, I apologize for putting you through that. And yeah, y'all will see you in San Antonio. Let's go.